Stop playing. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. We outside, Boston, baby.
My question is, do you feel like Martin Luther King's dream is a reality, has become a reality rather, for so-called Black and Hispanic people?
Only partially.
Only partially. Help me out. Give me a little bit more on that. How you doing?
I mean, the people of color and Hispanics have some more rights respected, but they're still not equal to white people.
Right. Okay. I definitely agree with that. Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, do you think they'll ever be equal to white people in white society?
That's a difficult
As
question.
long as they're in white society, do you think they'll ever be equal to their white counterparts?
Not unless there are more people of color in charge. There is a good percentage
Right.
of the people in charge are actually women and people of color. Yeah.
Right.
Until that happens, yeah, no.
Okay. And given the track record that America has, do you think that that's something that would ever be achievable, is to have Black people in a seat of authority where it actually affects change as it pertains to them?
Eventually, yeah, it might. I think it's possible. We have seen things that we thought never would happen. Like I remember when I was a kid, people smoking,
Yeah. Yeah.
and people who were non-smokers were trying to respect others, the smokers, respect their rights. Hey, I don't want to be smoking this, start breathing this smoke.
Right.
And we never thought that there would be a time where the smokers would be a minority, but it did happen. So I think change sometimes takes time, but eventually, yeah, you have to keep fighting for that.
So, I appreciate your answers. Now, we've been fighting for this change for approximately 50 years, nearly half a century. Okay, and it's still not to a place where our people being in that seat of authority is something that is a reality. Being in the seat of authority where they're actually able to implement a change, right? So with that being said, do you think it's time we reassess Martin Luther King's dream? And when I say we, I mean so-called Blacks and Hispanics. They reassess Martin Luther because that's who he was operating on the behalf of. Do you think it's time we reassess his dream and really try to implement a different strategy to achieving what we ultimately want?
I am a Latino.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand. I'm not African American, but I am a Latino living in a white society. So I understand, not fully. I'm not saying that, but it's good to do that always, to assess the legacy and question: is it really the right approach?
Do you think we should reassess?
Yes,
Yes.
The answer is yes. Regardless of the result. I mean, it's always good to do that, but I'm not sure if you feel that change is not possible. I do feel it's possible because
Right.
I think that when the time comes, you say I don't have any hope. Why keep fighting then?
Well, so you asking me if I think it's do it? Well, I definitely do think we do need to reassess Martin Luther King's dream. And, you know, just look at, you say you're a Hispanic brother, right?
Yep.
So just look at, we just came from Martin Luther King Boulevard. You know, I mean, you know, the portion of the migrants are being housed over there by the state, correct? So, and these are Hispanic brothers and sisters also, right? And, you know, we just saw Black people helping them out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think that's what we need more of. We need more black unity. When I say black, I'm talking about black, Hispanic, Native Indian, Haitian, Jamaican, more unity. And we need to try and help each other rather than trying to rely on the man that has been continually oppressing us to, find some sense of humanity in itself and to, because it's never going to happen. Because realistically, America's never going to relinquish their power, which is what they would have to do in order for us to be on an equal playing field. It would never happen. Like I just said, we have to deal with the reality of the situation. I mean, my brother, he just brought up an excellent point here of moments ago where he said, when you got two, if the New England Patriots, going against another football team, are they on the field to tie, or are they out there to win it? They want to win. Nobody, for a tie.
Okay.
They want to win, right? And I think black and Hispanic people need to focus on winning more than trying to join our oppressors, because that's why we've been losing, right?
I don't know the context, but
Yeah.
I agree that people who are in power don't have an interest in
Right.
conceding that power.
Yep.
So,
You're right.
but it has always been throughout history that's the same thing. I mean, if someone is in charge, why would that person like to change things?
Exactly.
So the people who are being oppressed, yeah, they should get together, fight, help each other, as you say,
That's right.
and peacefully,
Yeah. No,
keep
exactly. Yeah.
peacefully, yeah, ask for
Help each other.
ask for a place at the table. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to build our own table rather than trying to pull up
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Wherever
Right?
you want to put it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
More participation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I appreciate you, brother. Definitely. I appreciate your time. Shalom, Lord in Christ, Priest and Officer Rakab, I.S.U.P.K, 1 West under Command General YAHANNA, in downtown area of Boston Commons, specifically in front of the MLK statue. And I'm here with
Chris.
Chris?
Mm-hmm.
I'm here with Chris. Okay, so Chris, my first question for you is going to be, do you think Martin Luther King's dream has become a reality?
No.
No. Okay. Why do you say that?
Well, his dream was very all encompassing,
Right.
and they were dreams of the future, where we might get to.
Right.
I don't think we've gotten there.
Right. I would definitely agree with you on that. And seeing that as we have what the media is calling a migrant crisis, but I don't necessarily feel like it is, but they're calling a migrant crisis.
Mhm.
And, what's being said there is that local residents are upset that they're not getting equal treatment, So do you think, things like that happen? Do you think, given when we received Martin Luther King's dream and where we're at now, do you think it's time we give up on this dream? No?
Of course not. No. He happened to express a dream that most human beings hope for.
Right.
But should you ever you're asking me,
Yeah.
should we ever give up on the dream of a better society or a better life? Oh,
Yeah.
no. No, you don't give up on the dream.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
hope that somebody comes along that has a better idea how to get there.
So if I could clarify myself a little bit,
Mhm.
well, how long have we been trying to achieve this dream? A dream for like half a century, right?
Oh, I'd say more than that.
Right. But since Martin Luther King,
Mhm.
right?
Sure.
So you could just argue maybe like half a century,
Mhm.
approximately, right? So half a century, nearly 50 years, and we still haven't achieved Martin Luther King's dream.
It's true.
Right.
So,
So
you're
it's-
back to your original question.
Yeah, but I'm
should we
saying
give up?
it's clearly not becoming a reality. You know what I mean?
Well,
At some point, we
it's
have
not
to
a
accept
now.
reality. We have to accept reality, right?
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that part. You seem like a nice young guy, but
Yes,
I
sir.
will tell you that people have dreams from the day they're born until the day they die. And I don't think they necessarily come to a realization they should give up on that dream.
Okay.
I think that's the thing that drives the human spirit, right? We always try to achieve better. We try to do better for ourselves. We try to do better for our children.
Right.
So is there a time in life where you say, okay, I'm done with that. I'm done trying to do better? I don't think that's ever a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No sweat.
my
Thank you.
thinking,
I
man.
appreciate you. I appreciate
All right.
your time.
You got it.
Appreciate it. You
Nice
know?
talking to you.
All right, you too. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, you ready? Shalom, this is Priest and Officer Ricard Ariel, hitting you up out of the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. I'm here with
Tommy.
Yo, brother, you see where we at? We at the MLK, monument, right? What do you think what do you think about MLK's overall dream? You think it worked or you think it was broken?
Still need to be worked on because a lot of stuff going on that he's trying to prevent.
All right. Now, do you think that his dream was beneficial for black people?
Yeah,
All right. In what way?
because he wanted everybody to be free. He wanted us all to be free and treated equal. Everybody may not always be treated equal or free, but I mean, at least we know where to go. We got motivation to.
All right. Now you say equality was the goal. Do you know of anybody that actually fights or any sports team that actually plays to tie?
No.
Oh. So you think tying is beneficial for blacks to do? Just tie with them?
I mean, no, it's not. But I don't look at it as blacks need to be higher or what. That ain't what he wanted. He wanted everybody to be treated equal.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, thank you for the interview, brother. I appreciate it. Have a good one, bro.
To live with his half sister, who's in Roxbury.
Yeah.
And he actually worked down the street here as a busboy at the Parker House Hotel.
Okay.
He also worked as a valet in Chinatown.
Yeah.
This is kind of where he turned his life around.
Right.
Well, he was a big hustler, and then when he went to prison, he really rediscovered himself and reinvented it. He's somebody I occasionally talk about on the tour because his transformation is also a very human story that's really incredible.
Okay. So transformation.
Yeah, transformation.
I'm trying to figure out an angle here before I interview you, man.
Yeah.
Transformation. Yeah. Okay. Behold Boston. Then and now, right?
Then and now and tomorrow.
Okay. Then and now and tomorrow. All right. So we're going to spark it off, man. If you're ready to go. Oh, Shalom, are we recording on that? I just pressed the button. I'm not the tech guy. Okay.
No, talent's different.
Yeah. Shalom, Lord Christ, Priest and Officer Ricard, I.S.U.P.K. Boston, 1 West Under Commander General YAHANNA. You know what I mean? We out here with, what's your name? So I didn't
My
get
name's
that.
Arturas.
Arturas, okay?
Hold Boston Tours.
Okay, yeah. Just give us a brief, if you could explain about the transformation like you did to me. Just, if you don't mind.
I started this, my own small business here, Behold Boston Tours, to really explore the transformation of Boston, both in the literal sense. As you can see, there are many incredible features of the city that have changed over time. Sorry, my technology here. You're looking at a photo from the balcony of the State House, taken 25 years apart, showing Back Bay, when it was a literal bay in Boston and the now more beautiful brownstone business district.
Yeah.
And while the first part of my tour explores this literal transformation, how did the city get so big and so prosperous? The latter half of the tour really explores the human side of the stories, how incredible it is that regardless of any of our individual pasts, we can create something new and beautiful for the future.
Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent, man. So, with that being said, my first question to you is going to be, do you think Martin Luther King's dream has become a reality for so-called Black and Hispanic people?
Well,
in Boston, you can keep it local.
I think it's best to keep it local, actually. But I think local action is really where things happen.
Right.
Some people say, the best thing New England ever did for the world and government is just to facilitate a town meeting where people
Right.
can really hear a local issue.
Right.
Now, I don't want to speak for other people if their dreams have been realized, but I think there's definitely tangible proof that the condition for all people to be equal and to break bread together and work together, from the time of King to today, I think he would be proud of what we see. Certainly there's still some places where, improvement can still be made, and I think it will be made.
Okay. Now, the improvement part.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like the improvement needs to be made at?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I would say education today, especially in the United States, it's also really turned from kind of a local thing where local schools have their own curriculum and understand, educate students on what's important for their localities.
Right.
It's really been nationalized in a way that I feel like it's unhealthy. If you look at how, U.S. test scores and stuff have trended over time, there's been so much federal investment into standardizing things, and that's been a corresponding increase in test scores.
Right.
And similarly, I think that it detracts from people's ability to, in their community, educate with what's happening around them.
Right.
And so understanding, how are the Black and Latino communities in Boston interacting with each other, how have the neighborhoods here transformed over time. It's just not emphasized as much anymore.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to the Boston public school system, so I don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
But I'd say, for example, I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee.
Right.
And there's very little history taught of what's actually happened here. Where are we today versus our relatively recent past? And similarly, where are we going to keep improving?
Right.
And so I think kind of more of that local level of education and engagement with one another is the path to further improvement.
Yeah. So, is another area of improvement or a couple areas of improvement that you could agree that we need to see in the so-called Black and Latino community that we haven't been receiving, or we haven't seen rather? Housing, the financial gap between us and our Caucasian counterparts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that some things that you think we need to work on also that needs to be improved?
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely think that the city is wise in some of the investments it's making to bring all communities to the table in terms of new businesses, making sure that there are pathways for people who typically wouldn't be at the table in decision making. I give credit Mayor Wu with a lot of her initiatives to bring businesses and also make it easier for businesses to kind of fight through regulations. I believe Councilor Mejia has kind of cut away some of the regulation to allow, small restaurants to start up, people able to, serve from their homes and stuff. Just kind of empower entrepreneurship, which in some cases, kind of the more older establishment of the city may have blocked access. But, I hesitate to answer something so clearly because I just don't like speaking about things I don't have great information about.
No, I understand completely. I see what you're speaking on what you know.
Yeah, I'm speaking on what I know.
I understand. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just tell you.
Yeah, please.
I just came. Yeah, you know what I mean? I just came back from MLK Boulevard where the state is currently housing, I believe it's approximately 600 migrants.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And there's been reports of, residents of the Roxbury area being upset that they haven't been receiving, the resources. Yeah, right?
I do think that's a disparity, yeah.
Right. They haven't been receiving those resources. But, when we went out there, that really wasn't the case. You know what I mean? We spoke with the people and they were actually very welcoming of them. However, I would argue that that problem still exists whether you have the migrants or you don't have them there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and we've been experiencing this level of oppression as a people, for nearly half a century, if not longer. Right?
I think you could say longer.
I could say longer. I'm trying to, but hey, right? I didn't want to inflate it, but you even said it. You could say longer than that. We've been experiencing this level of oppression, right? So because we've been experiencing it for that long, don't you think it's time, if we really want to see a transformation as a people, to reassess Martin Luther King's dream?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Because clearly, although you may have seen incremental improvement, it hasn't been satisfactory. It hasn't
I
been
would agree with
satious
that,
to the
but
people.
I would say we'll always have to reevaluate that.
But I'm saying if they want to be satisfied,
no, I don't think
you
it's the
can't-
nature of humanity to be.
you said
satisfied.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
You want satisfaction, right?
we want it.
What's
but
your
will we ever
financial
really get it,
situation?
you know?
You have to go pursue it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to pursue it.
Mhm.
Okay? You can't wait for somebody to give it to you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, you got somebody that's the worker and you got somebody that's the boss.
Yeah.
The worker is never going to make more money than the boss.
Yeah.
So I think it's time for our people to decide. Do you want to be a worker or do you want to be a boss?
Yeah.
Because so long you've been the worker.
Mhm.
You've been in the cotton fields picking cotton.
Yeah.
You understand? You've been doing the jobs nobody wants to do in America.
Yeah.
The lowest level jobs,
Mhm.
right? If you don't want to be relegated to that, we need to create our own society.
Yeah.
We need to create our own wealth,
Mhm.
right? We need to, not look for mercy from the man that has been oppressing us,
Yeah.
but we need to look for independence, separating ourselves from the man that has been oppressing us. And then that way we could just attain respect from that man. You know what I mean? Rather than trying to find his mercy and his love,
Yeah.
you know?
Do you feel respected as a man of minority complexion here in the city of Boston?
In the city of Boston, no. No,
Sorry, man.
no. I really don't. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't just want to make it about myself, but I mean, for black minorities in general,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't think we feel respected
Yeah.
on realistically.
Mhm.
Because, that was one of the issues that was had. Right now, they got the police over at that rec center I was telling you about doing a detail over there, right? Why? Because supposedly, people have been going over there and, shaking things up a little bit.
Yeah.
But there was a guy over there specifically who went out there against the police, and he was very upset that he works 40 hours a week and he's still homeless. He can't pay his rent. It's hard for him to eat, and he's still not getting the assistance that he needs. He's channeling his aggression in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Because the migrants, they don't determine whether he gets housing.
Yeah.
They don't determine whether he gets a better paying job.
Yeah.
They don't determine whether he gets SNAP benefits,
Yeah.
right? Who was determining that? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, policymakers.
Exactly. So
various city councils.
that's who you really need to be upset with.
Yeah.
But once again, if you're upset and you want to see a change, if you want to see the transformation,
Yeah.
I feel like the wisest thing to do would be to separate.
Well,
But I get long-winded. So
there's so much nuance to things.
Yeah,
It's hard
yeah.
to make a blanket statement.
Yeah.
But I do hope that there is a future where, we all break bread together, regardless of what things are happening in our communities. And, I think it's great that we can learn from each other and what's happening in our communities.
Yeah.
I hope that that's still an avenue for, even if some of the economic ties are more independent, I hope that the educational ones, I think it's very healthy to learn from people of
And I don't want you to think that, my idea of separation is just, but it's
I think
just-
there's a lot of complexity.
I'm saying
there,
it's stemming from somewhere.
yeah, I understand
right?
that.
It's coming from a place that is, making me
Yeah,
come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Like, given the history that we have, that clearly seems like the wisest solution to our problem. Because, you know, what are you going to do? You can't stop a lion from killing a zebra. You can't try to stop the lion from killing the zebra. The lion is going to kill the zebra if he wants to eat.
Just because you said that, I got to show you something else.
Yep.
Because in my perspective, it's a little the opposite of this point of separatism. But you know that State House, this one of the oldest buildings here in Boston.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So you know how there's like a lion on top of that building, right?
Oh yeah.
You ever ask yourself?
A few months back.
You ever ask yourself? You know, there's a lion and a unicorn.
Yeah.
And these are symbols of the British, right? They're not American symbols.
Yeah.
And when I first moved to Boston, I was always really confused. You know, why would these symbols of the former enemy kind of be held in a place of honor on top of the State House?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, there's this Boston Massacre.
Right.
Some of the first bloodshed on the path to revolution.
Yep.
You know, 5 men, one of whom is black, Crispus Attucus.
Yep.
Memorial to him right over there.
Yeah.
You know, 1770 on the path to revolution.
Yep.
You know, you can see on top of the State House there's this lion and a unicorn. But 6 years later, when the Declaration of Independence was read from the balcony here, that lion and unicorn were torn down and burned, along with every other symbol of the king and his tyranny.
Yeah.
And for over 100 years, that old State House didn't have those symbols of the British on top.
Right.
It was only in the 1890s with a restoration that they were brought back.
Okay.
And inside of the new replicas,
Yep.
the lion's crown had the time capsule, you know, literally something to think about.
Yep.
And one of the most significant things there is a letter, which, you know, it kind of talks about a bunch of different things, but it ends, the lion and the lamb shall lie down together, and a little child should lead them, and the nations shall learn war no more.
Yeah.
And in the 100 years since that time capsule has been placed, while there is war in the world, the Americans, the Eagles, have forgiven the
Say
British
that quote
lion.
one more time. The lion and the lamb.
Lion, I believe originally it's actually a Bible verse, but the lion and the lamb shall lie down together,
Yeah.
and a little child should lead them. The nations of the world shall learn war no more.
Yeah.
So I think there's something really powerful into forgiving the mistakes of the past and working with former enemies to build new friendships.
Okay. I see. But let me tell you this. I hear you. I hear you on that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you this. They had to establish themselves first
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
before their enemy could respect them
Exactly.
and they could respect the enemy.
Yeah. I think it's very true that
That's
you
it.
need to have
When you bring it to the essence,
understanding.
because if their enemy would have conquered them and they would have been subjugated to their rulership,
Nothing would happen.
that's right.
I think it's true.
Yeah.
We all got to
So
fend for ourselves.
you have to establish yourself as a nation before you can come to the table.
I think more than that, we got to establish each of ourselves as individuals before we establish our communities, and then those higher levels of structure. Of states, cities.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I wouldn't disagree with you on that. Yeah.
Power is a very dynamic and difficult thing to understand.
Yeah.